Hello and welcome everyone. This is going to be a trade recap of Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and break down this short trade that we went over in our recent night review tonight. So this is after our night review. We ended up watching the full thing, breaking it down, watching the prints, setting up a game plan to a high percentage. So if you're interested in learning a tape read, we have a free link to our Discord, which will be linked below. And what you'll get is a free 12-hour course. You'll also get free access to exclusive content that's not posted on YouTube, lead classes, and then you will also get access to our nightly night reviews. Those are Monday through Thursdays, and then also Sunday night reviews. Those are 8 p.m. And what we do is we recap the trades that we took during the day or the journals that we took. Like today, we went over a student's recording. He recorded himself and his thought process live, and we ended up breaking that down. And Rich, our head instructor, was also there, and he helped provide constructive feedback. So really take advantage of that if you're interested. Free link below. And back to this. So this is Twitter. I'm gonna pull up a couple of relevant prints that the recording ends up skipping, because this is a recording that I'm gonna be breaking down, but it ends up skipping them or freezing at the open just because there's a ton of volume. So 54 ask prints here, way above print personality, and what print personality is how much it prints on average. And this is way over print personality, indicating that the market makers has the intentions to build on this position, and then also a reaction selling burst that will come full circle. So this 70 really nice under 54. So a couple notes here is Twitter's on its second day. Yesterday was a exception day, so we had just pretty much gray buying at every single level above print personality. 50 is one that's notable, had a ton of buying. And what that means that the market maker overall intentions are to build on that position, and which it never did. So it ran as an exception, not following our rules. So today, going into the pre-market, it's an extension of that, an exception from 52.50 to 54 ask during the pre-market above print personality without proper building. So it's definitely looking for a reality check. What that means is looking for the rules to come into fruition, the market makers to build on the positions that they said they were going to build on from yesterday and today, pre-market wise. So going to be looking for a number one short trade. Going to be looking for that reality check type of building day for them to really capture retail and take it short. But we need the prints to confirm that that's the case for the days. We're going to have a pullback day, and it's going to be for building, is essentially what we're looking for. So we're looking for confirmation of that. And as you can see in the pre-market, and if you were just a retail investor, you would think this is going to be an amazing breakout day, in which it does appear so, but knowing our rules, having all these levels not built properly built, which means that they really should be pulling back. Like this level here at 54, it hit 54 on the ask. I know I fast forwarded a little bit just because it's a pre-market for conservative sake time. 54 ask without a proper pullback, and they were above print personality. So it's not following the rules again, and we're going to be looking for a reality check rule following trade coming to the open. So I'm going to fast forward it closer to the open here. We definitely saw a transition of money flow from 52 to 54, which was just mainly all buy, and then we started to see a transition above this print line here at 53.95, which was a lot more on the sell side. So people were definitely taking profit here. And going into the open, game plan was a trigger up for all those overnight orders to be executed, really entice retail, make it seem like this is going to break out to 55 or even higher, and then overall trigger short for that building trade. So really to do the opposite, the market makers will want to do the opposite at the open to really entice and capture retail, and then drop the trigger short on them. So fast forwarding here to the open. I know this is a recording, but this is just a quick recap for all our students to be able to really have this lesson on file and to be able to really come back to it and use this as a lesson and put in their database and their journals. And if your people are new here, what have you, a great way to get an introduction of how we tape read and we follow market makers and smart money. So coming to the open here, again, this is a second computer. We do freeze here, so that's why I showed those prints earlier. So we ended up getting 54 ask here at the open above print personality, which indicates to us per our calculation that this stock needs to build, which we're trading in 50-cent increments right now. We're going to be looking for a dollar pullback based upon the prints that I showed previously at 54 on the ask side of things. So 54 ask above print personality is telling us it needs to pull back a dollar to build. And as we push above, the tape is a little frozen right now, but it will catch up. So as we push to 54.50 here, we definitely get weak ask at 54. It was like 3 asks, so they weren't really showing the intentions of printing at 54.50. was looking for a trigger down at this point with a price target of 53, knowing 54 was above print personality during the open and then above print personality during the pre-market. So looking for the reality check building trade. And so looking for the trigger down here, some nice selling at 54.05 and some bids at 54. So that's a great sign for a continuation of our short trade for the building side of things. So it's great that we see that selling because that confirms the fact that the market maker is looking to build. So we're pushing higher here, 54.50. Again, not much on the ask side of things. Looking for a trigger down here. Order is going to be at 54.11. Those 54 are going to have a quick pull up in nature, and then looking for a trigger down here. And then also going to be looking for a reaction around this print line of 53.80. So we're going to be looking for some selling to confirm, some short-term selling to confirm that our price target of 53 is coming in the short-term side of things. So not only do we have the 54 ask above print personality that tells us that it needs to pull back to build, we also want to see that short-term off-level selling. So took that trigger right here. Entry was 54.11. Some really nice selling, 53.70s. So that burst I showed in the initial part of the video, that was right after we broke this print line here. And I think we froze a little bit or went too quick, so it wasn't as apparent in the video. But that selling was under that print line to show possibility of continuation towards our price target of 53. That's exactly what we want to see for the continuation. So at this point, price target is 53. That's going to be over $1 trade, and 53 is conservative. It really is. From how much they printed at 54, this should really come test that 52.50 psychological level. So we're just gonna keep it conservative, and just gonna. That's pretty much the game plan of the trade, and that's the self-talk that I really constructed as this trade was happening from the pre-market to the open of the market now. So we're in this trade. We're up, I don't know, 50 cents or so. Doesn't really matter because our price target is 53, and we had the selling that confirmed on the shorter term time frame of things for continuation. So my selling there at 53.50, under print personality, it's nice, but it's nothing that really changes how I view anything. It's definitely great selling. So break under 53.50 here, another little freeze on this computer. Some nice selling at 53.30 there. So it's really, the selling is showing the confirmation that we can get to 53, which is a conservative price target. So obviously a great sign that the money flow under this 53.80 has been selling. It followed the rules perfectly, which 54 asked above per person that it needed to build. Those market maker needed to build on that position. That's what the intentions they showed. And yeah, that's just a perfect number. This is going to be our number one short trade. So we have a series of 1 through 4 trades, which it's free for all chat room members. So if you join our chat room, you get our 1 through 4 course, which is like 30 hours, which is ridiculous for free. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but amazing content nonetheless. Still in this trade. But this is the game plan. This is how we break down a stock. Risk to reward in terms of that entry of 54.11, my exit would be that 54.50 at the break of that. So I'd be risking about 40 cents in order to make $1.50, and that's a pretty good risk to reward. It's closer to 1 to 3. We typically try to shoot for that 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. But yep, just managing this trade at this point. I do want to keep this video shorter in nature. It's going to be more of a recap than anything. I do plan on having some live trades here in the near future, working on just setting up my computer for live executions and things like that, just making sure the software doesn't slow my executions down. So we've got a bar up here, looking at substance-wise and volume. Not really concerned here. We're not seeing the off-level shorter-term volume that shows that someone is looking to make money to 55. It just doesn't. It's not apparent. If they were going to push this to 55, the shorter term buying on the above this print line would be apparent and it'd show. And that's just not the case. It's really no buying at all on this move up. So I'm not concerned. I do have my stop set if it does hit, but no reason to take any off because this move up has really no substance. Some more 54 bids though. Those were bids. So price action could scare you, but overall we have our game plan, and 53 was conservative. So no reason to take off here, looking for that continuation and trigger back down to 53. And this would be a different case here. So if we had 54 ask above print personality and then we trigger under and we don't have that shorter term selling under that print line that really stood out, then I'd be very cautious here. I'd treat this and then approach this differently. I'd definitely scale out more. But the fact that we have gray selling under and that move up was pretty hollow in nature in terms of the accumulation on the buy side, I'm not worried about it at all. Just going to manage accordingly. And if it does break my stop, then I'd be honestly looking for another trigger short back down. And it'd be even higher percentage trade at that point. So get a trigger back down, 53.50 bids. I'm going to fast forward here just for the sake of conservative time, just to make it a quick review. Give you guys some really nice prints there, 53.38. So that really shows we're going to break 53 here. Prints tell you everything. It's a story of who we're following, the market maker. We base all our calculations through the eyes. So this whole trade was based upon the fact that that market maker at 54 was above print personality and they needed to build. And everything else is perceived through their eyes. So that selling works in our favor for our short position. So just going to fast forward to here, but I hope you guys enjoy these little reviews. I'm going to be doing more of them and have more content to come that's going to be improved. So appreciate you guys' support. Please leave a like and comment if you possibly can. Some more great selling under 53 there. So we ended up, pushing down to 52.50 and then triggering back up. And that's your short trade right there. And that's all based upon the 54 as prints, dominant market maker, controlling print, #1 short trade. And feel free to join some of the best tape reading community out there. We're just following market makers. All we do is time and sells, psychology focused, amazing chat room, amazing community, many veteran traders. Alrighty, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending where you're at and what time it is where you're at. So later.